Whether you're playing Pokemon Go or hitting the dab uncontrollably, do it in style with an awesome new design for the Grand Canyon Greninjas in this season of the UCL. Available until August 9th, so get them now. The link is in the description down below. Yeah, what's good though? You already know who it is though. It's the one and only Twitter. How you guys doing? And welcome back to some more Pokemon Sun and Moon information, like news, breakdown stuff that we got going on. I just want to talk a lot about this recent trailer that if you guys missed the trailer breakdown and review, the first time that I ever watched the trailer, that will be linked in the description down below. But there was just so much stuff that was released in this damn trailer that there's no way that I could fit everything into like that 13-minute video, which the trailer was only like 5 minutes long, but I ended up sitting there talking about stuff for like 13 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? There's just so much stuff that I want to talk about. Why not just make another video on it? I don't know that I'm going to involve every single thing that was talked about in the trailer, because I don't want this to be, you know, some crazy hour-long video or anything like that, but I do want to talk about the new Alolan forms and some of the new Pokemon that were revealed in this trailer, specifically in this video. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing another like me talk about sort of like the moves and like the Z moves and the new combos and stuff like that, I can do another video about that if you guys are interested. If not, we're gonna stick with this one. You guys let me know in the comment section down below, and if you guys want to see another one, make sure you smash the like button down below as well to let me know, man, to let me know. But there is just so much freaking stuff that was revealed today, and I just can't get over it. I really can't get over it. So first off, in the trailer, we see a brand new Pokemon, and this is like sort of going back to what a lot of people were saying, that they didn't think there was going to be like mega evolutions in Sun and Moon, and I was on the fence. I was like, you know, I kind of feel like they wouldn't just rip, you know, Mega Evolution away. Like, I don't think they're just gonna like take it out. Like, obviously Mega Evolution is still gonna be a part of the game, but I just don't think we're gonna be getting new Megas or anything like that, just because they could have made Exeggutor a Mega, but they didn't. They instead took these forms, or took these Pokemon, like these OG Gen 1 Pokemon, they took them and gave them new forms, and they called it the Alolan form of that Pokemon. So we have the Alolan Exeggutor here. Pretty freaking cool. Category obviously is a coconut Pokemon. The typing is grass and dragon. And again, that's why I say, like, they could have just made this thing. It was grass and dragon, so they could have just made it a Mega, you know, like half the Megas that were released in the last generation or whatever were dragons anyway, or they evolved into so many dragon types anyway. Not really half, but there was a lot of just normal type Pokemon that turned into, you know, that typing plus dragon as a Mega like evolution, you know, form switch or whatever. And it's pretty cool, but at the same time they could have just made it, I don't know, man, I don't know, because like the only thing they've really revealed are like these Gen 1 Pokemon. I don't think they're gonna actually go real hardcore at the Mega, if at all, because we have so much other stuff that they're revealing. But again, that's all left up to speculation, because we could end up getting like something crazy, because they're just like throwing news at us. They don't want anybody to leak it. They're just dumping all this news in our lap and just like force feeding it to us, and I don't mind it, man. This is a good meal. This is a good meal. But it says for the description here of the Alolan Exeggutor: the environment of the Alola region, where strong sunlight pours down all year round, brought about this change in Exeggutor's form. The people of Alola boast that the Alolan Exeggutor is the true form of Exeggutor. Interesting, interesting. Unlike other Exeggutor, the Alolan Exeggutor has a fourth head on its tail. Okay, so that thing is just watching all sides of its life right here. Ain't nothing getting around you. Ain't nothing getting near Exeggutor, or the Alolan Exeggutor at least, which is pretty cool. The fourth head controls the tail independently and can take on opponents to its rear that can't be reached by the main head's attacks. This Pokemon excels at whipping its long neck like a lash to attack with its hard heads, but that neck can sometimes be a weakness. Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, you can catch that neck could catch one cut and just be donezo, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I think this is really, really cool, because it's just, I don't know. They say that they think this is the true form of Exeggutor, which I guess would make sense because it's like, it's a palm tree. It's like, it whips its neck like a damn giraffe, but it's also a freaking palm tree, and palm trees are pretty tall. And if you look at Exeggutor's regular form, there's like, I was always under the impression, like, because it was a palm tree, like, it didn't really make any sense that Exeggutor's form, or like the original Exeggutor was like short, you know what I mean? Like, I know it was still kind of tall, but it was still also sort of short. This Exeggutor is 35 feet tall. I'm actually gonna look up and see. Hold on, let me see. Exeggutor. Let me see how tall Exeggutor normally is. We can get all the information here, all of it here. Let me see. I'm gonna go check out how tall regular Exeggutor is, because like I said, this one is 35 feet tall, and the regular Exeggutor form is 6'7". So that's like that's literally 4 inches taller than me. Or no, that's 5 inches taller than me, which is just crazy. Like, I feel like it's a palm tree, so this would make total sense, but it is what it is. I think the Alolan Exeggutor is actually super dope. I'm really excited for it. I cannot wait to like see it in game and like play with it in game. The thing is massive, man. The thing is massive. So now we're gonna move on to another Alolan version of a Pokemon, another Alolan form Pokemon, which is the Alolan Vulpix here, which again is very interesting. I don't know how to feel about the Alolan Vulpix. I mean, I know it looks great because it's like all white. It looks really, really good, right? But I'm wondering why it just completely changes its typing. You know what I mean? It doesn't add a typing. It literally changes from fire typing straight up to ice typing. And it's like, it's cool, but at the same time, like, come on, this is a Vulpix. Vulpix is supposed to be a little fire dog, you know what I mean? Or a little fire fox, excuse me. And it's like, I don't know, because like now, it is obviously, it says category is a fox Pokemon, typing is ice, and the ability is Snow Cloak. Now let me read you the description of Vulpix, and I guess this is going to sort of answer a couple of our questions here. It is said that Vulpix came to the Alola region together with humans, but the fox Pokemon moved to the snowy mountain peaks to avoid normal habitats of other Pokemon, and thus ended up taking on this form. Now again, it just doesn't make sense to me because it's a fire type Pokemon. So you're going to sit here and tell me that a fire type Pokemon couldn't handle being cold and turning to an ice type Pokemon? That just, I don't know how to feel. I really don't know how to feel about that. I mean, again, I like the form, I like it, it looks great, but it just doesn't make any sense. This is like this is a completely brand new Pokemon. Like, obviously it's a new form, but I'm wondering if, like, will there be regular Vulpix in the game too? Like, in theory, there should be a regular Vulpix and there should be the Alolan Vulpix, and it should have two completely different stats and everything. That's just the way I see it. I don't know. You know what, as a matter of fact, let me take a look at Vulpix here, because let me see like the weight of Vulpix. I guess this would sort of confirm, I don't know if this would 100% confirm, but if they're like the same weight and everything, height is 2 feet and the weight is 21.8 pounds, and they're exactly the same. So I don't know, man. I don't know. These Alolan Vulpix live on high mountains that remain covered in snow year-round. They live in small packs of 2 to 5 individuals, helping one another survive. Alolan Vulpix can freeze anything, and again, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? How does a fire type Pokemon that shoots fire out of its mouth turn into an ice type Pokemon and now all of a sudden shoot ice out of its mouth? I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. I don't really agree with that. But it says Vulpix can freeze anything solid by expelling breath at a temperature of negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 50 degrees Celsius from its mouth. It doesn't fare well in the heat, which just blows my mind. It's a Vulpix, man. But when the temperature gets too high, it produces ice from its tail, lowering the surrounding temperature. I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. Like I said, something just doesn't ring a bell for me. Something like, there's a flag on the play here, and I just don't understand. I don't know, I just don't understand it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I mean, again, I love the form, I love the way it looks and everything, but it just doesn't make sense that it's an ice type, because I mean, it's literally a fire fox. It is literally a fire fox. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I like the form, but I don't really agree with the reason that it has the form, if that makes sense. So next up we have the Alolan Ninetales. Now, this is actually kind of cool, and again, this goes back to like, I feel like the Vulpix and Ninetales, or excuse me, the Alolan version of the Ninetales and Vulpix are going to be completely different Pokemon from like our regular Vulpix and a regular Ninetales, because this Pokemon, Alolan Ninetales, is an Ice type and a Fairy type. It's an Ice Fairy type. Like, that is a dope. That's a pretty cool. That is a pretty cool typing there, because you have the Ice type who's weak to fire, but you also have the Fairy type which resists the fire. So now Fire type moves to the Ice Pokemon are only neutral. Interesting concept there, interesting concept. So it says Alolan Ninetales lives on a snowy peak, is revered in the Alola region as a holy mountain. They are treated as sacred emissaries, and people meet them with awe and fear. This Pokemon's personality is extremely gentle, and at times it has helped humans who seem to be in distress. However, it shows no mercy to anyone or anything that dares damage its territory. The Alolan Ninetales is able to produce ice crystals from the fur that covers its body. It can use these ice crystals to block attacks, or it can form balls of ice with them. That's pretty cool, actually, which it fires like bullets at opponents. The power of these ice missiles is great enough to pulverize rock. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Again, I like the ability Snow Cloak. I like the design of Alolan Ninetales here. I just don't understand. I don't agree with the reasoning behind it. It just doesn't make any sense that you have a Pokemon that literally spits fire, like a Hot Flames mixtape. It spits fire, and now it's just completely. I'm having a hard time with that, man. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing me saying it, but I'm having a hard time with it, man. I really am. I like the typing though. Ice and Fairy, as far as competitive goes, that's actually kind of nice, because like I said, you have that fire type neutrality now, instead of it just being, you know, straight up ice type, and that fire type attack is just super effective, but Fairy resists the fire, so it's actually pretty cool. I don't know. I'm interested to see how some of this stuff works as far as competitive goes as well, because a lot of the, like, if you look at some of the moves and, like, for example, the Z moves that were announced in the trailer as well, some of it is just very kind of like, I mean, it wouldn't really make any sense, because it would make competitive battling seem a little broken. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously both parties would be able to use their Z moves, but I mean, I'll talk about the Z moves later if you guys are interested in that, but I don't know. It's an interesting concept here. It's a very interesting concept. Like I said, I'm not saying that I hate it, but I'm also not saying that it's my favorite. Bars. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Alolan Sandshrew here, which is pretty cool. Again, the typing, honestly, the typing sounds terrible. The typing is ice and steel, and I don't know about that. That seems like just problematic. That seems really problematic. I want to say that, let me see, hold on. Is there another? I just don't know about the typing here, because ice steel, it just seems like a really bad typing, man. I'm pretty sure this is the only Ice Steel Pokemon that we have. I don't recall another Ice Steel type Pokemon, and it just, I mean, I don't recall it, probably for a good reason, because one fire spit in this thing is just body bag, because that's quite effective. I'm not sure about the typing. I mean, I guess it leaves a lot to be desired. It leaves a lot to the imagination. It leaves a lot of options, I guess, that you could do. Again, the ability here for Sandshrew, for the Alolan Sandshrew at least, is Snow Cloak, and it reads, the description of Alolan Sandshrew reads as this: Sandshrew have historically lived in desert areas. No, really. But the frequent eruptions of nearby volcanoes drove the Sandshrew to abandon the desert and migrate to the snowy mountains, where they took on this form. Sandshrew's body changed to adapt to the harsh environment of the snowy mountains. The Alolan Sandshrew has a shell of ice covering its skin, which is like a hard steel. So it's not actually steel, it just has a really hard, like, ice shell that resembles, or has like the has the same like density and like the properties of steel then. Okay. It excels defensively, but it lacks flexibility and can't curl its body into a ball like a ground type Sandshrew can. Oh, okay, interesting. Its heavy weight makes the Alolan Sandshrew slower than a normal Sandshrew, but the claws on its hands and feet move across ice without slipping. When it wants to move quickly, it can use its stomach to slide across the ice like a curling rock. Okay, so that's, again, this is pretty cool because this points to the fact that the Sandshrew and the Alolan Sandshrew are very different. Because I'm gonna look up Sandshrew stats really quick, because it said that Alolan Sandshrew is actually quite heavy. So let's take a look at Sandshrew's weight. Regular Sandshrew's weight is 26.5 pounds, and the weight of the Alolan Sandshrew is 88.2 pounds, so considerably heavier. And the Alolan Sandshrew is 4 inches taller than the regular Sandshrew, which is interesting because, like I said, the ice steel type sounds awful, but I guess in reality it's not truly a steel type because it has that ice, like that ice body, ice outer, ice outer shell or whatever, that is so hard, and it has the same density and the same properties of a steel type. So that kind of makes sense there. I can see that. That makes sense. I do agree with that. So if that makes sense, and I sort of agree with that, am I going to agree with the Alolan Sandslash? Let us take a look. So, again, ice steel, obviously, height is 3'11", and the weight is 121.3 pounds. Again, I'm going to look up the Sandslash here and see what we've got to look at, because I'm interested to see like the weight and the height and everything. So the height of a regular Sandslash is 3 foot 3 inches. The height of the Alolan Sandslash is 3 foot 11 inches, and then the weight, of course, is going to be heavier. Normal Sandslash is 65 pounds to the Alolan Sandslash, which is literally double. Well, just right under double at 121.3 pounds. Very interesting. So the description of the Alolan Sandshrew reads as this: the Alolan Sandshrew of the Snowy Mountains the Alolan Sandshrew of the Snowy Mountains evolve into Alolan Sandslash. Did I say Sandslash or Sandshrew? I think I meant to say Sandslash. If I was saying Sandshrew, I apologize for that. But anyway, thanks to their icy coating, these spines are large and sharp. Alolan Sandslash hide themselves in the snow when strong enemies appear, leaving only their needles exposed and ready for business. Business in the front, party in the back. Actually, it's backwards, but whatever. The weight of the ice that covers its body makes these Alolan Sandslash heavier than normal Sandslash, and this causes them to be slower. Yet in snowfields and on ice, they move by creating a path with their claws, and so they're able to move with swiftness. So I'm guessing that the Alolan Sandslash and the Alolan Sandshrew are a lot faster just naturally, but I wonder if they're just gonna be faster, sort of like a swift swim, but you still have a snow cloak, but you're just faster in the in a blizzard or in the snow. That would be, I'd be interested to know what as far as like that goes. I'm interested to see what happens with that. The sprays of snow kicked up by the Alolan Sandslash movements are so beautiful that many photographers head to the snowy peaks to capture the moment. However, Sandslash live deep in the mountains, and there is great danger of becoming stranded, so it's forbidden to climb the mountains without permission. Okay, so Sandshrew and Sandslash, at least the Alolan forms of these Pokemon, are very hard to find because they live like pretty deep into the mountain, and it's a very dangerous area to go, especially since you don't know if you're going to be stepping on a Sandslash, or you don't know if you're going to just be stepping over some rocks because it sticks its spikes up. So that's really kind of interesting, and it doesn't really, I mean, I guess it has the same like hard outer like ice shell that resembles steel. I'm guessing it doesn't really say anything specifically about that, but I'm just gonna assume that it's gonna have the exact same body style from the Sandshrew evolving into the Alolan Sandslash. I mean, it's interesting to say the least. It definitely is interesting. I feel like the Sandshrew definitely could be ice and steel just based on that outer cloaking that resembles steel, but I feel like a Sandslash should just be plain ice typing. But again, I don't know, I just feel like it should just be straight up ice typing. It is what it is. So not only do we have new Alolan forms of Pokemon, but now we've got brand new Pokemon as well, and we've got 8 Pokemon to be exact. We have 8 brand new Pokemon to be exact. I had to make sure that my math was right there. But 4 of these Pokemon, I'm guessing, are going to be just different forms of them. I don't know if these are going to be separate Pokemon. So we're going to take a look at the first form here of Oricorio, the Sensu style, which is a dancing type Pokemon. That's the category of the Pokemon, and the typing is Ghost and Flying. Height is 2 foot, the weight is 7.5 pounds, and the ability is Dancer. Now, if you guys saw the trailer, Dancer basically, the ability Dancer basically steals a Dragon Dance, a Quiver Dance, a Swords Dance, any dance type moves. Like it's literally straight up taking them. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. And what is it? Not the category, but the description of Oricorio says Oricorio changes its forms by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. Okay, so they aren't separate Pokemon, they're just different forms. I wasn't sure if you could be able to, well, I mean, I guess technically speaking, you still be able to catch different forms of Pokemon on different islands in the Alola region, and I'm guessing, I would assume that the certain islands only have certain flowers for certain Oricorio to sip to change its form. Just speculation here, you know, it is what it is. It would seem that different Oricorio live on each of the islands. Okay, well, there you go. I didn't finish reading that, but I guess that confirms what it just said. Okay, cool. So the Sensu style Oricorio is quiet and collected. By means of its dance, it gathers the spirits drifting about in the area and borrows their power to fight. People who migrated from Kanto feel a great liking for this Pokemon because its dance reminds them of their homeland. Interesting. Okay. Oricorio has the new Dancer ability that no other Pokemon has had before. If another Pokemon in the field uses a dancing move, then Oricorio will be able to use the same move immediately afterwards thanks to its Dancer ability. Revelation Dance is a move that only Oricorio can learn, and its type changes based on Oricorio's current style. So does that mean that you can change styles in battle? Surely that you wouldn't be able to change styles in battle. So I'm just wondering, like, is this like a Rotom form where it's like the one Rotom can change to a Rotom Wash, or it can change it to whatever it wants to be? Or is this, could you change? I don't think you can change mid-battle, so it wouldn't be like a Meloetta, right? Where it's a whatever the dance is that Meloetta does, or the move that Meloetta uses, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not. So it's not like a Meloetta form, because I don't think you'd be able to switch, because the only way that it says it can switch, it says Oricorio changes the form by sipping the nectar of certain flowers. So I don't think you could just use a move just to change. That's really interesting. And the other cool thing is that the ability Dancer literally instantly gives you whatever dance move was used. So if you get a Quiver Dance off and I've got an Oricorio sitting out, on the same turn that you Quiver Dance, I also get the Quiver Dance and I can still attack afterwards. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting move. A very interesting ability. It's actually really cool. So that was the Sensu form of Oricorio. Next up, we have the Palu style Oricorio, and this is a Psychic and Flying. The last one was Ghost and Flying, I believe, and this one is Psychic and Flying. Let me double check. Yeah, the Oricorio Sensu style was Ghost Flying, and now we have the Palu style, which is Psychic and Flying, which is interesting. Now let me see if it has all of the same exact category here. Excuse me, not category, but the same exact description here. Obviously, sipping on different nectar of certain flowers. The Palu style Oricorio acts at its own pace, which sometimes makes it difficult to deal with. It sharpens its spirited moves through dance, which increases its psychic power. It's said that this dance expresses its gratitude to the guardian deity Pokemon. So is that to Tapu Koko maybe? Is that to Tapu Koko maybe? I don't know. Oricorio is basically just says the same thing as it did before. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So the Palu style is a psychic Pokemon that just increases its psychic power from the spirited moves. Excuse me, let me read it one more time. It sharpens its spirited moves through dance, which increases its psychic power. It's said that its dances expresses gratitude to the guardian deity Pokemon. So that is actually really cool. So I'm guessing this is, I mean, obviously this would be like I'm guessing it sharpens its moves sort of like in a Calm Mind sense, you know what I mean, where it sharpens its psychic ability. I don't know, that's kind of interesting to say the least, but I'm guessing I mean, psychic ability, I guess it would be special defense, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, these forms and these new Pokemon leave a lot up to not only be desired, but like be explained as well. I really want to know what exactly is going on with all of this. So next up, we have the Oricorio Pom-Pom style. Now this one I think is the cutest of them all because it's literally a little cheerleader. It's pretty great. This is an electric flying Pokemon, and it says the Pom-Pom style Oricorio is very friendly towards people, and it uses dancing to encourage trainers who are feeling glum. When it dances, its feathers are charged with a static electricity. It can attack with these charged feathers, and sometimes it unleashes a powerful electric shock. So I'm guessing it's gonna have, I was gonna say it might have the ability like, what is it, static? I don't know, it could have the ability static, but maybe one of the moves that the Pom-Pom style Oricorio gets is sort of like a nuzzle or like a shock or like a thunder shock or something like that, and it could also paralyze, which would be pretty interesting to say the least. For sure would be definitely pretty interesting. And then the last Oricorio form here we have is the Baile style. Now I think this one is pretty cool. This is when I think of a dancer, I would think of something like this. But I mean, I guess all of the forms are dancers, especially the Sensu form and the Pom-Pom form, definitely dancer. Like I would say that the Palu form is like a hula girl dancer. This one is like a, I don't even know what you would call it. It's like not a mariachi dancer. Would that be? I don't know what the dancers are called, but I see it when she claps in the trailer and everything. But it says the Baile style Oricorio is very passionate and power. Excuse me. It's very passionate and power fills its body when it dances. It sends down fluff flying. It sends downy fluff. Downy? wait, were you telling me that it washes its feathers in the same thing we wash our clothes in? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it sends downy fluff flying during its intense dances. What? It sends downy fluff flying? That sentence is just confusing to me. Anyway, it sends downy fluff flying during its intense dances. By igniting this fluff, it can unleash a fiery dance attack. Ooh, oh, that was another one, fiery dance. Ooh, this is pretty cool. See, I hadn't read this before. So basically, when it dances, it releases like the fluff from its feathers or whatever, and what it does is it lights those fluffs on fire and it just blows everything up. It just like sets everything on fire, which is pretty cool. So it's kind of like a chain. I'm interested to see this like in the anime or something like that, where it has like the fluff flying out or whatever, and then it lights, like it blows fire or something, and then it kind of just chains everything, sort of like a, you know, like a fire spitter would do in a Hawaiian dance or something like that. That is actually really cool. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. So we have another Pokemon here, one of the last 4 Pokemon, I should say 5 Pokemon here. We have 5 more Pokemon, but one of them being Mudbray. Now, this is the donkey Pokemon, and this is the pre-evolution to Mudsdale. Now, if you guys watched the original trailer breakdown with that had Mudsdale in it, I was saying that I didn't think Mudsdale was it was either the final evolution of something or it evolved into something else. Because if it's based on a Clydesdale Pokemon, or excuse me, a Clydesdale horse, which is a massive horse. I think it's like 7 feet tall. It's huge, man. It is absolutely monstrous. And I'm like, either this has to be the final form, because it looks very Final Form-ish, right? Or it has to be something that evolves into something else. Well, we got confirmed today that Mudbray is actually a pre-evolution donkey Pokemon to the Clydesdale style, or the Clydesdale Pokemon, Mudsdale. So let me read you guys the description of this thing. By the way, this thing weighs 242.5 pounds and is 3 feet tall, with the ability own tempo and stamina, which is interesting. So it says Mudbray could once be found all over the world, but it was overhunted and ended up being, wow, it was overhunted? Yo, that's kind of morbid. What in the world? It was overhunted and ended up being on the verge of extinction. It's said that the Alola region is the only place in the world where Mudbray can still be found in the wild. Mudbray boasts superhuman strength, superhuman strength to supersize, considering its small body. Mudbray can carry loads up to 50 times its own weight on its back or dragging behind. Okay, Mudbray loves playing in the mud. Clear enough, its name is Mudbray. It's easy to live in harmony with this Pokemon as long as you provide an environment where it can play in the mud. If it can't frolic in the mire, however, If it can't frolic in the mire, however, Mudbray will become stressed and may stop listening to orders. So, I mean, it's very donkey. It's very donkey-like. I mean, that's pretty donkey-like. I don't know if you guys have ever been around a donkey or anything like that, but if they don't get their way, they just kind of be rude. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So next up, we have Minior here, which is the Meteor Pokemon. This is one of the brand new Pokemon that we have had no information about, which is actually a very interesting concept because the typing is rock and flying, which is kind of funny, kind of interesting, and it has the ability Shields Down. Now, I don't know if it's going to explain to us exactly, it is going to explain to us exactly what Shield Down, what the ability Shield Down is, so we're going to go ahead and read it right here, the description of Minior. Minior are formed in the stratosphere and live by absorbing the detritus around them. Am I saying that right? Detritus. I think that's the right word. Detritus around them. When they've consumed a large quantity of particles, their bodies become heavy and they fall toward the planet's surface. Minior has a hard and heavy outer shell with a core inside it. The Meteor Pokemon seems to be made in such a way that if its shell breaks, it becomes lighter and can deal out quick attacks. Ooh, okay. When its shell breaks, the core inside its center is revealed. You won't know what color will appear until it happens. Oh, so that is actually really interesting. So it's like, if you were to take Minior, which I don't think Minior is going to be the final evolution, it definitely has to evolve into something else, right? Maybe this is like the final, or maybe like the pre-evolution to either like Lunatone or Solrock, which, I mean, it would make sense. Again, this is just speculation. It would make sense, okay? It would make a little bit of sense, that's all I'm saying. But you won't know the form, or you won't know the form or the core in its center until it's revealed. So until the Shields Down ability activates. That's really kind of I don't know how to feel about that. It's kind of interesting. So it says Minior has the new Shields Down ability, which no other Pokemon has had before. But that doesn't mean this is the only Pokemon that can get it. See, we saw earlier that the Dancer ability, I'm pretty sure it said the Dancer ability was a move that only Oricorio can get. But now we have the Shields Down ability, which no other Pokemon has had before. That doesn't mean it's the only thing that can get Shields Down, which is kind of interesting. With the new Shields Down ability, it will have excellent defense capabilities as long as its shield is intact. It will also be protected from status conditions. Ooh, okay. But when its HP drops below half, its shield will break and will change to a form better suited to attacking. Okay, so basically, it's like what can I compare it to? It's like Gara's Sand Tomb. It's like it's there to take hits. It's there to just like be bulky, but when it breaks out, boy, it is ready to fight. So I don't know. That's actually really interesting. I'm curious to know whether this is just the final form of this Pokemon, the only form of that Pokemon, or if there are going to be more to come with it. I don't really know. I like it though. I like it. So next up, now obviously you guys saw recently that we got revealed Yungoos, which was a little mongoose Pokemon, which was actually pretty cool. Everybody liked to say that it was, you know, very Donald Trump-esque. And now we have Gumshoes, which is the evolution of Yungoos. And hey, all I'm saying is make Pokemon great again. This thing looks just like Donald Trump. As much as I hate to say it because I really dislike him, it is what it is. He looks just like Donald Trump. This is a Donald Trump Pokemon. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Category is a stakeout Pokemon, normal type, 2 feet high, 31 pounds, and it has the ability Stakeout and Strong Jaw. It says Gumshoes, a method of targeting prey, is the exact opposite of Yungoose's strategy. So Yungoos was like straight up like trying to attack, right? I believe that's what it was. While Yungoos prowls around, Gumshoes stakes out its prey's usual routes and waits patiently for it to come by. So basically, this dude is like the FBI of Pokemon. Like look at his little arm behind his back. He is like, I will see you and I will be there for you. As soon as you start slipping, as soon as you start messing up, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take you out. Gumshoes has a tenacious personality, which is why it targets one prey for so long without wavering. But when the sun goes down, it runs low on stamina, falling asleep right on the spot. Wow, really? So it instantly falls asleep at night. That's gotta suck, bro. Falling asleep right on the spot. Gumshoes can withstand a great deal of hunger. It's able to stay perfectly still while waiting for its prey, keeping watch without eating a thing. Interesting, man. That's kind of crazy that it just falls asleep right on the spot. I'm guessing that's just because it could be like It could just be like hunger deprived, I guess, would be the only reason that it would just instantly fall asleep. So I don't know, it is what it is, it is what it is. So next up we have two of my absolute favorite Pokemon so far. The next Pokemon that we do, which is going to be the evolution of this Pokemon here, Fomantis, which is a sickle grass Pokemon. This next Pokemon, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait before I get out of hand, man. I'm going to wait before I get out of hand. So we have Fomantis here, which is a grass-type sickle grass Pokemon, which is basically a praying, like the pre-evolution to a praying mantis Pokemon. Height is 1 foot tall, weighs 3.5 pounds, with the ability Leaf Guard. Now, Fomantis is nocturnal and it performs photosynthesis while it sleeps during the day by spreading out its leaves in all directions. Because of the danger of staying in the same location 2 days in a row, Fomantis begins its search for the next day's spot as soon as the sun sets. For Fomantis, photosynthesis is not just a source of energy, it is a necessity to achieve the strength and brilliant coloration of its evolved form. Photosynthesis is precious to Fomantis, and it will fiercely attack those who get in the way of that process. Bro, it needs that sunlight, okay? It's trying to tan. It's out here trying to tan. Don't get in the way. It has its Starbucks and it's ready to fight. Anyways, Fomantis excels in long-range attacks like Razor Leaf and Solar Beam. Solar Beam is indeed a powerful move, but since it uses up the energy that the Pokemon has stored throughout its photosynthesis, Fomantis rarely uses it. Okay, so I'm guessing Solar Beam is going to be... I mean, that makes sense, I suppose. That makes sense because it stores up, you know, the energy. So I'm wondering if Solar Beam is actually a 2-turn move for Fomantis here, since it doesn't use it much. I feel like maybe it's able to just fire off a Solar Beam because it already has the photosynthesis, already has all the sunlight that it needs, and it's able to just fire off a solar beam instantly. But maybe it has to recharge when it uses it because it doesn't use it much because it has to use all of the energy that is stored. Very interesting concept there, very interesting concept. Then we're gonna move on to the final Pokemon here, which I saved the best for last because this is actually my favorite reveal. This is my favorite release, this is my favorite Pokemon that we've seen for Sun and Moon, and I think this is amazing. We have Lurantis here, and she can get it 3 ways to Sunday. She is the Bloomsicle Pokemon. Type again is grass. Height is 2'11". She kind of small for me. She kind of short, but it's all right. We'll make things happen. If she 2'11", I'm 2'11". Weight is 40.8 pounds, and the ability Leaf Guard as well. Now it says Lurantis draws Pokemon near to itself with its flower-like appearance and aroma. She smelled good. She looked good too. And then it takes them down. Yo, I really wanna take it down. Shit, Lurantis could take me down. That's all I'm saying. It's said to be the most gorgeous of all grass-type Pokemon due to its brilliant coloration and elegant moves. I mean, I can see it. Lurantis's appearance is maintained through detailed grooming. It will trust a trainer who does a good job of caring for it, but it will apparently have a difficult time growing closer to a lazy trainer. Interesting. So you have to really be so it's basically like taking care of a plant. Like if you don't take care of your plants properly, then they're gonna die. They're not gonna prosper and grow properly. And she's the same way because she is a beautiful lady. Okay, Lurantis can learn Solar Blade. Now this is a dope ass move. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for it, but Solar Blade is a super awesome move, and I'm pretty sure it's a physical move as well, which is really awesome. The only thing is that it's very, I mean, Leaf Blade we've had already. I'm hoping that Solar Blade is like a 120 base power. I'm pretty sure it's got to be physical, but again, it is kind of like it's like a solar beam blade, so maybe it wouldn't be physical. Maybe it's a special solar, I don't know, but it lures people to them and then takes them down. So this is very like, you know, like up close and personal, like close quarters combat fighting. So I don't know. We'll see. A move that releases a blade-shaped beam to mince up its foes. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it would be special or if it would be physical there. The blade is so sharp that it can slice a rock in half. Now, I mean, slicing a rock in half is like meh, because first of all, if it's a grass type move, it's already super effective to rock, and slicing a rock in half ain't really that big of a deal because we've seen like Mudsdale, like that thing can like kick down a mountain, you know what I mean? So it's like slicing through a rock, that's why I say I would like for it to be like a super like high base attack, like you know, like a 120 base attack, but I don't think it would be that because it says it can slice a rock in half. It doesn't say it can slice a mountain in half. It doesn't say it can slice a boulder in half. It just says a rock. So I don't know I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking, maybe I'm looking a little too much into that, but that's just what I say. It's just what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Then it says Solar Blade has a move that no Pokemon. Solar Blade is a move that no Pokemon has been able to learn before. With Solar Blade, Lurantis absorbs energy from the sun on the first move and then unleashes a powerful attack on the second turn. So this is a 2-turn move. So that means it's got to have a really high base stat, like base attack stat. That's good. Lurantis is the totem Pokemon of Lush Jungle, the site of the Akala Island trial. Ooh, okay. It will overwhelm trial goers with the powerful combos it unleashes with the Pokemon allies it calls. So that is actually really interesting. Lurantis is, I don't know, man. Like when I first saw Lurantis, I thought they were gonna release it as a legendary Pokemon, just because it's a mantis and like it's a praying mantis Pokemon. And they're like very, you know, they're really sought after Pokemon. They're really respected Pokemon in some cultures. That's why I was like, you know, that thing could be legendary. We never know, but I don't think it is legendary. But apparently it's gonna run house on you in trials, which if you guys don't know what trials are and you guys want to know more about those, we'll talk about those in another video. But make sure you smash the like button down below if you guys are interested in seeing another video. But that's gonna pretty much wrap up what we have here today. This video actually ended up being a lot longer than I expected it to be, but we had a lot to talk about, so hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on these new forms, on these new Pokemon, the Oricorio. We got Mudbray, man. We've got all type Minior, we got Gumshoe, we got Lurantis, and we also have, what was this other, Fomantis and Lurantis. Like, we are out here with all these Pokemon. I love all this new information that we just get, and they're just throwing it at us. They're just hitting us in the face, they're just smacking us down. So you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below about all of this information. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. As always though, it has been Twit, and I'm out. Peace!